Hello and welcome to a new episode of Airport CEO here on BongoPlanes, where we will be continuing our work on the interior of Terminal 2, because by next episode we really do want to extend quite a bit the amount of airlines we have signed to our airport. So we have plenty of things to do and we will get going right after the drop. As always, before we get too far into today's episode, if you should end up enjoying this episode, then don't forget to leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. Alright, so we will be focusing right now on this little section here in the terminal where we are supposed to have quite a few shops. This is basically the connection point between the Pier A and B of Terminal 2. To be honest, I wanted to have this part of the airport finished already by last episode, but then of course we encountered this weird glitch or bug, or maybe just an issue with our setup. I'm still not quite sure what it is. If you haven't seen the last episode, basically the issue we have is that baggage loading or offloading rather takes forever, and because baggage loading or offloading takes forever, the loading part can't really start on time. It's basically starting too late, so most aircraft aren't getting loaded with any luggage. That's of course not good for our ratings. And the other issue we encountered was also that catering was always triggered very late by the game, so the catering truck would basically arrive at the aircraft the moment it actually was supposed to finish its turnaround. Now, since then, the game has actually entered its full release. That was actually scheduled for mid-March, but I guess the developers finished early because it is already now released in its full glory in its 1.0 release. But this gameplay was recorded prior to that, so this is still beta footage. So my hope is obviously that from next episode, where we then will be playing in the full game release, that this issue has been resolved, because I do actually think that it's more to do with some issues in the game rather than our game setup. But we will obviously find out by next episode if it was indeed an issue with our setup or if it was just a part of the game that didn't quite work. And in any case, if we really do still have this issue by next episode, then we might just switch off baggage handling for now, just so that the turnaround works, because everything else works fine, and then look more into it to see what the issue could be. But that's something for next time. But anyway, we are progressing quite well with this part of the airport, which I like to call shopping hell, because I don't want to shop normally when I'm at an airport. It's very, very rare that I actually do buy anything. I just want to go to my plane because that's why I am at an airport, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, we've kind of recreated this kind of, well, if we are positive, we would say cozy feeling. We could also call it cramped, where we have plenty of shops and not much space for passengers to walk around. Yeah, that's basically how this part of Terminal 2 anyway is in real life as well. So I think that's rather successfully replicated. Another thing we need to take a look at is actually, well, our taxiway system. Obviously it's far from finished, but we do have a little bit too much congestion in my opinion. I didn't want to fully build all the taxiway system right from the get-go, because we might want to change a few things here and there still. But as I say, we do have a little bit too much congestion, so I would like to alleviate that a little bit. So we do need to improve here a little bit and try to arrange things differently so that we can guide the aircraft that are coming in, so they don't have to use exactly the same path as the aircraft going out, because obviously that is what then creates congestion. Alright, but now that we have worked a little bit more on the taxiway systems, let's focus again on our Terminal 2 construction, because obviously by next episode I very much would like to sign contracts with more airlines so that we get more traffic coming into the airport. That is the big goal that we have set us now. And for that, I mean, we have already pretty much established all of B concourse. I think that layout is pretty much done, and we have established most of the layout or most of the construction for the Terminal 2 connection building that comes from Terminal 3 and then between B concourse and A concourse. The only thing we are missing there are actually the lounges, which are one floor above, but they will come at a later stage. But obviously you then have A concourse, which is like this weird T shape that is at a slight angle, and we don't really have anything there yet. And obviously when we are signing more airlines, that is definitely a part that we need to open up, so we actually have the space to handle these additional aircraft that will be coming in. Since we're talking about more airlines being signed, obviously you're always welcome to come up with more suggestions as to what airlines we should sign here at the airport. So just leave them in the comment section below if you would like to. You can see the setup here is fairly simple. We're going to have a waiting room. We're using a small boarding desk with then 2 automated boarding desks. I think that's a nice setup. So we have a little bit, we need some staff, but not too much because it's a small boarding desk. And then we are helping us out with handling the passengers fairly quickly by using the automated desks as well. So we are creating these small pockets basically where passengers are waiting for boarding their aircraft, and in between these pockets we then have a little bit of space that we can use for other things. Our favorite rooms, obviously bathrooms and staff rooms, which are hugely important for an airport to run smoothly, at least in this game. Oh yeah, and since I actually mentioned it, I mean obviously this gameplay is still from the beta, but since then the game has now been fully released as its 1.0 release, and to celebrate that, the game developers have actually also added a free DLC. They call it the Supersonic DLC. Basically what that is, it adds the Concorde and the TU, is it 114 I believe, the well, at least the Soviet equivalent to the Concorde into the game. Now I don't really see us adding those aircraft to the airport because that would be very unrealistic, but if you are playing the game, you do have the option of adding these aircraft now, which I think is a nice idea. And of course it's not the 114, I mean, oh my god, now the comments are probably full of, it's the Tu-144. I'm sorry, I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to Soviet era aircraft. It's just not my area of expertise nor interest. So the Concorde and the Tu-144 have been added as a free DLC, or are available as a free DLC. If you have the game, you now have the option of adding these aircraft to your game. Anyway, let's now focus on what we have here in front of us, and that is obviously constructing the A concourse, or at least most of the A concourse of Terminal 2, because I don't think we will quite manage to finish all of it, and actually I might wait to finish it all up for quite a while, because what I also very much would like to do very soon is starting up with Terminal 3, because from Terminal 3 we will have most of the international traffic going, so that means, for example, also wide bodies, and yeah, I don't want to wait too long to get those in as well, because we are already getting offers in the contracts, so I also want to fulfill these offers by the airlines so they don't get fed up with us. And obviously it would be nice to have some wide-body aircraft coming in as well. Now, I quite often let it slip that I don't really like Copenhagen Airport, but I'm actually kind of curious of you guys who are watching the series, if you have ever been to Copenhagen Airport and what is your impression, because I'm fully aware that it might not be every single person in the world that shares my opinion of the airport. So I would be kind of interested in hearing from you guys, if you have ever been to Copenhagen Airport, what your impression was of the airport. Perhaps you had a really lovely time, perhaps you had a horrid time. If you had any experience with the airport, then feel free to let me know in the comment section below as well, because yeah, it could actually be kind of fun to see and to hear what others have to say about the experience they had. And also, I mean, we are kind of replicating Copenhagen Airport. Obviously, not everything is exactly as it is in real life. That's just not possible with the game. We also need to play the game as a game and use the features and tools that it gives us so that the airport is functional. But in any case, we are still trying to at least have the layout replicated as much as we can. And I'm building this mainly from muscle memory, so perhaps there are some details that I've just forgotten about or just never really noticed, and maybe you've seen something and you think, hey, this should really be included into this build. So if there's anything like that, then also please do feel free to let me know in the comment section below, because that would be actually a really great help for this build. So while I am continuing my work here on my favorite rooms, bathrooms and staff rooms, we are nearing the end of today's episode. Obviously, I think we have done great progress today, which is awesome because it does mean that we can add more airlines by next episode. So don't forget, if you have any suggestions what airlines we should add next episode, then make sure to let me know in the comment section below. And of course, as I mentioned, if you have any ideas, any features of the airport that you think I have missed or forgotten about, then feel free to let me know that as well in the comment section below. And of course, your general experience with the airport. I would be very interested to hear what you have to say about the airport as well. Now, with that, we have really reached the end of today's episode. So if you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like. That would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.